So I've been wanting to take a crack at these honeybee coffee coasters again. I'd done them in the past, but I didn't like the way they came out. And I also was not using the same brand of resin I use now. So I want to give it another shot. And I've kind of pre-mixed my mica powder today and had it ready. And I really do like the way this gold came out. I'm just going to smooth over these few top pieces here. And now comes the more tricky part, which in hindsight, I probably should have done this first, but that's okay. Just going to pour some alcohol, grab a Q-tip, and clean up a little bit. Because those bees are tiny, and they've picked up a lot of the gold. Now I'm going to grab the blend of the other yellow I have here. Grab a very tiny brush. And I'm going to kind of put that down as the base color of the honeycomb. I'm also going to grab it and use it for the yellow stripes that are on the honeybees. And here I just realized how difficult that is going to be to see. If I got to get in close to see it, then I know the audience will. So let me do my best here. I'm going to grab some of this coffee-ish kind of color, and I want to see how that turns out. If I like it or not. If it's not dark enough, I may have to take some black and mix that into there. It's not looking too bad so far. And I'm going to lift a little bit of that yellow away from the tops of the honeycomb so that I can get that same color I just used on the bees onto those holes. And the holes are actually kind of lifted on the mold, so it makes that easy for them to be the first thing the Q-tip comes in contact with, so that's why I put the yellow down first to let that get in all the little grooves, so that it would be the main color that the bottom picked up, but I want the top to have that kind of nice bronzed color. And that looks like it's coming out nice. I really do love the shine on that gold. Now for the second one, I've decided I'm going to actually start with the honeybee first, which in hindsight is honestly where I should have started. You should always think of painting tiny molds like this, kind of like stacking. Well, I guess stacking luggage would not be the best way to describe it. Stacking luggage in reverse. Small thing first, bottom first, and just work your way to the top. The bees are some of the smallest parts of this mold, and they're also at the very bottom layer. They sink inward. They don't rise to the top like the rest of the honeycombs. That really is the best way to save yourself some extra aggravation as far as mica powder going where you don't want it to go. Because everything's going to fall to the bottom first, it just makes sense. So getting these tiny parts at the bottom out of the way first means that we don't have to think about it that hard or reinvent the wheel when we go over the top layers with our gold. And I'm actually going to set that one down, and I'm going to grab the other one and start doing the same thing. That way we already have the bees taken care of. So what I've decided to do here is I'm going to lift a little bit of gold so that I can give it a splash of another color I have here. And now we get to, well, I won't say that this is the enjoyable part, because doing the whole thing has been enjoyable, but I've been excited to get away from the smaller pieces and work with this bigger surface area on the coaster holder. And now I'm just gonna clean up a little bit, and I'm going to speed that up so that you don't have to watch every millisecond of my meticulous cotton swabbing. There we go. And now we pour. I will point out that when you're doing really shallow pours like this, you want to be very careful not to over pour, because especially with the kind I'm using, it can swell up a little bit more than you expect. It's very useful to have these popsicle sticks handy so that you can kind of just nudge things into the corners and edges and see how it fills out. Should also try to always pour from the center if you can. And it looks like I'm going to have just enough resin. And a little spritz of the alcohol I'm going to do at the end just to get rid of the micro bubbles. And a day later, let's see what we got here. It feels like it's still a little bit soft, not completely cured, but that's okay. We can still take that out and look at it. I'm really pleased. It's the first one that I've actually attempted with mica powder. And let's start doing the coasters. Oh, I really am glad, pardon my clumsiness, I really am glad that I decided to add that little splash of silver in there as well to give it some variation. I think it came out the better for it. And these ones are still a little bit soft too, but that's okay. I'm going to carry that away and put that on a heating mat that I have to help the resins cure a little bit quicker. That ought to speed the process along, but it's actually not that bad considering that I know I'm probably going to have a few pieces to trim like this, and trimming while it's still kind of soft is honestly the best way to go about it. So far, so good. Let's demold another one. Oh, this one also came out very nice, and as you can see, it's also not completely hard, and we're going to take full advantage of that to trim any extra little excess edges we have here on the honeycomb. These are so cute. I can't wait till they're all the way cured so I can actually put them out and show them to people. Last but not least, let's start to demold this one. And this one too. Yeah, they're all going to need a little bit of extra time curing on the warming mat. You see, they're kind of bendy when they're not all the way cured. But again, it makes them a lot easier to trim and clean up, so I'm not complaining about it. And even though they're still kind of bendy, I'm just going to kind of bring them over here to kind of show you how it fits together when it's done and what it's going to look like. These are really cute. And what I'm probably going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and give them one more day of curing and maybe 2 or 3 hours on the warming mat, because if you try to put these together as a piece while they're still soft and bendy, there are still some chemical reactions going on within the resin, and you can come back to find your project fused together, and that is not what we want. So this came out super shiny. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed putting it together. And if you've stuck through it this long, why not go ahead and like and subscribe? I'm a small channel and it will certainly help me grow. Until the next art story, more to come.